Now guys, tell me, what happened to the man who had a lot of bad encounters with cameras in his childhood? He experienced a lot of flashbacks. Alright, I have listed what I think are the best low-light cameras of this year, and to see the most up-to-date prices and find out more information about these cameras, you can check out the links in the description below. Let's get started. I want to start this video mentioning the camera from Nikon, which is the Nikon Z6 II, which is listed as the best overall. This camera is a mirrorless camera, which means that it works without a reflex mirror and the light directly passes through the lens to the digital sensor. Nikon has lots of mirrorless cameras that are used by many people around the world. Let me tell you more about the Nikon Z6 II. As a whole piece, this camera comes in fully covered in black color, and it is made of a very durable material that makes it usable for a long period. It pounds 616 grams and includes measurements of 5.28 to 2.74 to 3.96 inches. In the design is included this camera's resistance. It can be used in whatever weather and it still will work perfectly. The burst shooting of this camera is 14 FPS and it includes 24.5 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor. The video quality is 4K Ultra HD and it takes up to 2160p of resolution. The focus of this camera is an amazing automatic one that works very fast while you are taking a picture, and since it is a low light camera with a great focus, you can easily find the subject on any light. The ISO of this camera is 100 to 51,200, which means that it is adjustable. It doesn't lack the image stabilization feature that makes it an amazing camera used in any place. If you need to take pictures of any moving thing, you won't have a blur. The viewfinder is an electronic one that gives amazing clarity while the zoom is optical and is 1x. The screen that this camera has is a 3.2 inches big LCD screen, while on the other hand, the connectivity on this camera is via Wi-Fi that makes it compatible with any smart device. And the battery of this camera is a single lithium-ion rechargeable battery that on a full charge allows us to take up to 310 shots and 10 to 15 minutes of video recording. Let's see about the pros and cons. About the pros, it's resistant and it has amazing focus on dark. Whereas the cons, only 15 minutes of video recording, and that's kind of not too much. Moving on to the second camera is chosen the Sony Alpha 9 II, and this one is listed as the best for professionals. The Sony Alpha 9 II is also a mirrorless camera that comes from the Sony company and is used by lots of people. It quickly becomes a favorite camera that is mostly used by professionals. It is known for its amazing features and I'm gonna tell you about them right now. This camera comes also in black color, but it comes in a lighter weight compared to the first one since the Sony weighs only 589 grams. Even though it has a lighter weight, the measurements make this one bigger, so it means that it is made of softer material, but still it is a great camera that comes with you wherever you go. The whole burst shooting of this camera is 20 FPS while the sensor is 24 megapixel of BSI CMOS. The video quality also comes in 4K that includes 2160p video capture resolution. It has a superb autofocus system that works perfectly in dark environments, making this camera one of the great ones used in low light. The ISO is selectable from 100 to 204,800. An important feature of this camera is image stabilization, so if you're a professional taking pictures in any place that includes lots of movement, you don't have to worry about blurry pictures. The viewfinder of this camera is also an electronic one that is very light and gives you a very clear point of view. This camera unfortunately lacks optical zoom. The screen of this camera is a touch LCD screen that is 3 inches, and the connectivities that this camera includes are the built-in Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth connection. These let you connect this camera with your smart device and easily transfer files. The battery life of this camera allows us to take 690 shots on a full charge of the lithium-ion battery that is rechargeable. When we talk about the pros, we have to mention great for dark environments, high level of ISO, and very clear viewfinder. Whereas for the cons, it just doesn't have optical zoom. The camera that stands on the third place is the Nikon D780, and it is the best DSLR for low light. Here goes another camera from Nikon, and this one differs from the other two because it is a DSLR camera, which means that it is a digital single lens reflex camera. It is a great launch from Nikon, which immediately became a favorite camera for those that like DSLR cameras. Let's see what are these cameras' features. The design of this camera is a simple one. It comes in black color and it is made of very durable materials. By just a look, it's clearly understood that it is a camera that can be used for a long time. It weighs 712 grams, which for a great camera like this one is considered lightweight. The sensor that this camera has is also a BSI CMOS with 24.3 megapixels and the burst speed is 12 FPS. Video quality comes in 4K Ultra HD and has the resolution of capture up to 2160p. An important feature of this camera is the dual focus, automatic and manual. The manual focus lets you adjust it the way you want, and since it is an amazing low light camera, the focuses are amazing. The ISO range on this camera achieves up to 51,200. It has an optical viewfinder which is placed in the middle of the camera and it is a very clear one. Well, this camera doesn't have optical zoom either. The screen of this one is also a touch LCD screen that measures 3.2 inches. The connectivity of this camera includes Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection. They work very easily by just connecting it with your smart device and you can transfer your files. The battery of this camera is also a lithium-ion one that is rechargeable and on a full charge allows you to take 2260 shots. It is a piece of amazing important information because that means that you don't have to take its charger with you always. When we talk about the pros, we have to mention two types of focus and lots of shots on a full charge, whereas for the cons, it just doesn't have optical zoom. The fourth place is reserved for the Canon EOS R6, and this camera is definitely the most versatile. Can't help but mention a Canon camera. This camera is a mirrorless camera that is used for many things and it is mostly used by professionals. But even if you are a beginner, it is an easy camera to work with, so just be hopeful. Let me tell you more about this versatile camera from Canon. It is a camera that weighs 680 grams while measuring 3.48 to 5.45 to 3.84 inches, and it is made of great materials which make it very durable and usable in any place. The sensor type that this camera has is a dual pixel CMOS one with 20 megapixels while the burst shooting speed of 12 FPS. The video comes in 4K at 2160p capture resolution. And the focus that this camera has is an outstanding automatic one that is very quick so that you don't have to wait for your subject focus. The focus works perfectly on low light, and the ISO on this camera is from 100 up to 102,400. The image stabilization can be a lag on this camera. It is a great feature that this camera has since while you are taking pictures of a subject that is constantly moving, with the image stabilization, it just erases the blur. The viewfinder type is an electronic one and it is very clear. Another camera that lacks optical zoom, but yet it is great. The screen is an LCD touchscreen which is 3 inches and it is a very angled one, which means that it is flexible. Connectivity on this camera is one of its greatest features since it includes both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and it delivers amazing compatibility and a very sturdy connection. The battery life that this camera has allows us to take 380 shots with the EVF, which isn't quite a high number, but still I think it is acceptable. Now, mentioning the pros, we can say quick focus, great connectivity, and image stabilization. Whereas for the cons, it's just a low number of shots on a full charge. As the last one that I chose to review for you is the Fujifilm X-T4, and it is the best APS-C for low light. Fujifilm is also a very famous company that has amazing products when it comes to low light cameras, and that is the reason that I chose this camera. Let me dive into deeper details about it. This camera can also be called the lightest in weight since when compared to the other cameras mentioned in this video, it is the lightest with only 526 grams of weight. Despite its weight, this camera is also a small one with measurements of 3.65 to 5.3 to 2.51 inches. Covered in black, this camera has a retro style that looks very cool. The sensor of this camera is the amazing APS-C, which includes in total 26.1 megapixels, while the burst speed of this camera is adjustable and it is capable of 15 FPS. The video comes in 4K of 2160p capture resolution, and the focus is an automatic one and it is quick and also clear. As a low light camera, its focus helps a lot. The low light performance in this camera is amazing. The ISO of this camera works from 80 up to 51,200. This camera also has image stabilization so that it doesn't capture blurry images. The viewfinder is an electronic one, it is very clear and gives us an amazing point of view. The zoom capacity works on 1x and a very angle LCD touchscreen is found as well, and it is 3 inches big. Connectivity on this camera includes Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and you can easily connect it with your smart devices and transfer files in between them. The battery life that this camera delivers to us allows 600 shots per full charge, and the battery that it includes is a lithium-ion one. When we talk about the pros, we have to mention amazing photo sensor and image stabilization. Whereas for the cons, we can just say it's hard rotation of screen sometimes. With that being said, we came to the bottom of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you have any questions about the products mentioned in this video, you can leave a comment down below in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Until the next video, stay safe, take care, and peace out.